everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today we are doing some money holders for the upcoming holidays. So these are two of the versions that I created today, and we're going to do one similar to this. So you can see this has a belly band, and then it opens up and you can slide your money in here. So you can see it fits just fine. And there's a couple of different ways to do these. So I will show you how to do that. Let's see. So you can see this one I used our new stitched framelits. And I've also put a little notch, which I find, easier to slide something in and out. So let's go ahead and show you how to create this. Let me just go ahead and get started. For this project, we are going to use a piece of Real Red as well as a piece of 12 by 12 Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. And we will start with the Real Red. And I will do my best so you guys can see this. Let me double check that I am in the camera. Okay, so for the Real Red piece, we're going to want to have a total dimension of 8 1/4 by 7. So on the 8 1/2 side, I am going to cut this at 8 1/4. Okay, so you have this little piece left over, and then we are going to cut this at 7 on the long side. Okay, and then you have this extra piece here. Alright, I'm going to move my blade, and now we are going to score it on the 8 1/4 side. So we are going to score it at 2 1/4. And then we're going to score it at 5 1/4. Okay, so now you can see those two score lines. That's going to create our envelope. And now I'm going to bring in my Designer Series paper. We're going to need one piece that is cut at, let's see, 2 3/4. Let me do it this way. 2 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so that's going to make the front. And then we're going to bring this in again, and we're going to cut two pieces at 2 inches. And so I have my paper this way so that it looks proper on the envelope. So I'm going to cut a 2 inch, and I'm going to cut another 2 inch. Okay, and then we're going to cut it this way at 6 3/4 again. Okay, so I have two pieces that are identical. These are 6 3/4 by 2. And then I have my larger piece, which is 2 3/4 by 6 3/4. All right. And then depending on how you want to do this, I want to show you a couple more things. You can cut a additional piece of solid paper. For instance, this one is white. And this would be cut at 1 1/2 by 6 1/4. And I'll show you where you can choose to put that if you'd like on the inside of your envelope. I am also going to cut myself a belly band. I have a piece of Whisper White here, and I'm going to use this for my belly band. So my belly band, I am going to cut, this is the 11 inch side, I'm going to cut at 1 1/2 by 6 1/2. And that should give you enough room to easily slide it in and out. Okay, so we are done with our trimmer. Let me set that aside. And let's bring in our different layers. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and burnish these nice and tight. Okay, so you can see this is how it is going to close. So this is the front, top, inside, and then our front flap here. So you can see I'm going to put a notch in this one as well. So I'm going to use my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I am just going to eyeball the center of this, and I'm just going to cut a little tiny circle out. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay down my Designer Series paper. And I'm just using snail. I am going to put a bunch because I want to be sure that it holds. Then you just want to have yourself, oops, a nice border. Okay. And now with that down, I'm going to bring back in my circle punch, and I'm just going to get that other piece out. Okay, so see, that makes our nice little notch. Alright, and then our other piece of Designer Series paper is going to go here, which is still the inside of your top flap. So let's go ahead and adhere that with the snail. And I'm making sure that I'm lining it up with my bottom piece. Okay. And then the Whisper White piece that was cut at 1.5 by 6 1/4, that can actually be laid here on this inner flap. And you can choose to stamp another sentiment here or do your to and from and write your own little personal message. Completely up to you. So I wanted to show you that that's where that additional piece would go. Okay. And then for our top, we're going to now lay down that additional piece of Designer Series paper. Whoops. Get that out of my way. That wasn't flat. Okay, I'm going to choose to leave this white piece out for the time being. And I'm just going to be mindful of lining up my edges. Okay. And then I have my other piece of Whisper White that is 1.5 by 6 1/2. And that is what I'm going to use for my belly band. So I'm going to just turn it on its side. And I'm going to fold that around. And that'll really crease it for me right there. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit of snail, and then I'm going to just seal that loosely. Okay. And then that easily slips. Alright. And then for our sentiment, I am going to use my punches. You could definitely use your layering circles here or your layering squares. As you can see in my original project, I used the layering squares and a stitched square to create this. We are going to do the circle and the scallop circle, and I'm just going to use my punch because it's handy and I don't need to bring in the big shot. So I'm going to take a scrap piece of Real Red, and I am going to punch the circle scallop, and then I'm going to find my piece of Whisper White. Okay, and I'm going to punch a 2-inch. Yikes. What did I do? That really doesn't want to go. Okay, hold on, let me try that again. Okay guys, I'm not sure what happened there, but my punch just all of a sudden gave out on me. So I went ahead and cut a circle out of the layering circles, and we are going to use that for our sentiment. Now the set that I'm using today is the tin of tags, and we are going to stamp Warm Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses, and we are going to stamp that in the real red. So let me bring that in. Let me ink up my sentiment, and we're going to go ahead and stamp that down. I could probably even use one of my smaller circles. Let me try the smaller one to show a little bit more of the red. You can kind of play around with your layering circles too. Okay. Let's see which one I like better. This one shows a little bit more of the red. That one gives me a little faint border. I think I'll use the smaller one. Okay, let me close up my ink. And let me grab my snail. And then we will put that right down. Okay, and now before I forget, I want to take off my belly band, and I want to seal the inside of my pocket. So I am going to use a bit of the tear and tape, and I'm just going to put that on the edge here. Get my scissors, just like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to peel that off. Okay, and then we are going to seal our pocket. And that will not affect your bill, you know, pulling in and out. And then we can go ahead and put our belly band on again. I think I'll give that a little bit more. Okay, and then we can put that right on the front. And that completes our money holder. Isn't that cute? I love those. So here are the 3 versions. I created. These are both the Candy Cane Lane DSP, and this is out of the Presents and Pine Cones. And this sentiment on this one is from, I think it's called, let me just double check, Christmas Pines. And this is done with the cherry cobbler and the Emerald Envy paper. So isn't that nice? So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope this comes in handy for you guys during the holiday season. I know I'm going to have many of these ready because some of the family members prefer to have, you know, cash to do their own thing. So this will come in very handy. So if you guys do have any questions, please let me know. I will also put up the measurements on my blog post in case you need to refer back to those. And as always, if you'd like to purchase any of the products used in today's video, you can visit my online store at theirishscrapper.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.